Hajnasiewicz. At one point I was gonna try to find a name, and then I had enough friends go, just keep your name. Who cares? And not like I'm gonna be a rock star, so Hajnasiewicz it is.
Well, that's cool. Well, like some people use just like their first initial or their last initial or whatever.
Do whatever is easier for you.
No, I know how to spell your name and I know how to pronounce it. It's Hajnasiewicz. Yes.
Do you still know my old home phone number?
Is it a 763 number?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, probably not. That's
one of three phone numbers I know is my old home phone number. And then my wife's number, and I don't know why I know my phone number, my cell number, but that's it. That's all I know.
I know her number, and I always put that in, and I remember my parents' house.
Yeah.
And then I remember my next door neighbor's house because I can see it written in crayon on this cardboard box.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing it. Yeah. So hi, Ted.
Hey.
It has been 30 years.
It's insane. It has been 30 years.
It has been legit 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, 29, because it had been 95, right?
Was it?
When was Stone Soup?
Stone Soup, I might have left Stone Soup in 94.
Okay, so maybe it was a legit. Let's see. I don't have a date on this.
That's when we played with you at
No, this is a little article about
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. You got things.
Let's to start off, we used to play shows together.
We did.
And Ted was in a band called Gone Irate. I was in a band called Animosity. We played places like we did 7th Street. Mm-hmm. Did you do
probably did a couple
Ryan's as well?
We probably did Ryan's together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so that was Gone Irate, and that would have been in April of 1990.
Yeah.
We aren't Final Demise, but we are Gone Irate. We consist of the ugliest, smelliest, doodliest.
Where did you find this?
I created that.
You did?
You created it and made 200 copies and gave it to me. So back in 1990, we took all the bands and just had them make 200 photocopies of each. I stapled them all together.
Oh my gosh!
And
check that out. Pete Beeman when he had hair. He had the coolest long hair, and he was a killer drummer, right? Mm-hmm. And then a week into the band, he shaved his head. Like, you
really?
Son of a bitch! Because back then everybody had long hair. You know.
Do them. Okay, I was trying to be funny. I'm not gonna do them. I will bleep.
Oh my gosh,
bleep.
This is wild. And Kosh,
yeah,
I see him every now and then. Dear Kosh, we get together. He's still playing with a friend of mine. And they just get together and go in the basement and jam out and stuff like that. We've done a lot of things together over the years, but small world.
What was that's where we first met was Gone Irate.
Yes.
And what was that band all about?
So Brian started Gone Irate like way like sometime in the mid to late 80s, right? And
Brian is in Dimidium.
He is in Dimidium. He's a Dimidium.
Dimidium. What did I say?
I was just making sure I get it right.
Dimidium.
Brian plays guitar in that band. Brian was this phenomenal. I think he went to school at is it Tartan, on the east of St. Paul.
Mm.
Yeah. So and then he moved out. I was a Cooper kid. He moved out there my senior year.
Oh, you were a Cooper kid, so you were a Robbinsdale guy?
Yeah, I lived in Crystal.
Oh, Crystal, yeah. Robbinsdale. I got you.
Yeah. So he came out and brought his, like, he would play these parties and all that, and his band was just like, I loved him. And then I don't know, he went over name changes and people started leaving. They're all living in St. Paul, and we all started filtering in. But I was like this closet ballad guy. Like, all this metal stuff is going on, and I would be putting on David Gibson and
wow,
Bon Jovi, like all the ballad. I would just, because I always had crushes on girls and got my heart broken by girls who didn't even know that I liked them. And then so I would always play these songs, like
Leather Tuscadero. Did you have a
I had a crush on Leather Tuscadero? Who didn't? Leather.
I think Tay even had a crush on Leather Tuscadero. Of course,
yeah, she was fabulous. So anyway, so Brian was he ran the show with this thing, and it was really cool. awesome. I don't know when we were playing who was singing. I want to say it was back to Brian. I probably sang a couple. Was I?
I think you were singing.
I was playing bass. I know that.
I know you're playing bass. Yep.
Because back then in the '80s, with all the fast
Sunday Bloody Sunday, that would be.
Oh, I sang that one. Yeah.
So I remember that specifically in my.
Yeah, we did a fun version of.
Lot, but
we did a fun version. I'd never heard that song, I think, until then. And Pete was the one, he introduced us to that song. He introduced us to Run Westy Run.
Oh, okay.
Reintroduced us to the Pretenders. Everybody kind of knew their songs, but he was into them, and he was into Soul Asylum. This is pre-blow up. They were still kind of hang time era, right?
Yep.
And
so who was the metal guy?
Brian was definitely, and Brian and Derek were both like, Derek was into King Diamond and all that.
Oh, okay.
Brian was into all the, like Metallica, Slayer. He had all the hardcore metal stuff too, and he had punk stuff too.
Yeah. Okay.
Black Flag and all that. He was.
I think a lot of people because I started on the punk side
of
stuff. Yeah. Brian was like, I had heard of, Black Flag and Dead Kennedys and all that kind of stuff, and heard a lot of their stuff before, and then I went into the hair metal stuff.
Yeah.
And then after the hair metal stuff, I went and I was educated into the thrash metal scene. So.
Yeah, Maiden. I really liked Iron Maiden. I thought they were awesome. But I was into a lot of the hair metal Kiss. Kiss was my thing from before I'd even heard them. I was probably 5 or 6. I remember seeing pictures of them, thought they were comic book heroes, and I thought they were the coolest thing. And so it didn't matter what they sounded like. I loved them, and even after I heard them, this is Kiss.
Now you go back in retrospect.
And so because of them, they were really kind of had the whole show, the glammy thing. And so in the 80s, when all that was coming out, Motley Crue, and then Poison and on, and even if it wasn't good, I liked it.
Okay.
So, but the ballads, I was a sucker. Still am a sucker for ballads. So,
really?
Yeah. Love. And Phil Collins. It's like, you can't like Phil Collins. I love Phil Collins.
I like Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Studio, I still don't even know what it means, and I still like it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sitting in this band playing all this heavy stuff. When Brian asked me to play, I was in a hair metal band. Well, mullet. My mom wouldn't let me grow my hair out. So, mullet metal band, and he's like, "Will you fill in for us?" And I was like, "Sure." And then it just was fun, and it was actually really fun to play this stuff. I could never play now. Good Lord.
Oh, the speed stuff.
Oh my God, we were doing all these riffs. Like, my bass lines were never a constant thing. It was really fun. I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome."
It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of it's for me. It was just getting used to that style of music and how fast it was. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I was used to the rock and roll. I was a Ted Nugent guy.
Yeah.
I was a Van Halen guy. I was a Kiss guy. I was a Black Sabbath guy. But then all of a sudden speed metal comes out. And I'm like,
how do you do this?
Exactly. How do I process this at this speed? And then once I started moshing, I figured it out.
There's a rhythm to it, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. This is wild. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I will get you a copy of that for sure.
Awesome.
We'll either take a photograph or something like
Brian's
that.
old address, huh?
I know, isn't it great? We put our actual addresses and telephone numbers in this thing. Because that's how they got a hold of us.
I would know. Larry's Pizza. Oh my God, some of these places we played. I don't know what the Club Casey Hall was. Larry's Pizza, though, I remember that. That closed down after we played there, and he opened up a porn bookshop.
Pizza and porn.
Yeah, Larry's Pizza turned into a porn shop.
Larry's Porn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Ryan's 7th Street. Yeah, we played a few entry gigs. I feel like we did it.
I think we did a bunch of stuff. I just think that there was a point in time where we kind of were just like, "Hey, are you available?" "Yeah, I'm available." And we just kind of did stuff.
Yeah. Because
did we do Eau Claire together too?
We might have. We did a lot. Like Shred Fit was. We were doing stuff
the Shred Fit stuff too. Shred Fit's on the back here too.
Have you ever played at the Mirage?
We did later on. Yeah.
Stone Soup.
Yeah.
Played with. But
that was
jumping ahead.
That was a tight window though, because the Gone Irate stuff. Like, it was '90 when Pete took us to see Soul Asylum. They were playing the winter thing in St. Paul. Whatever that winter thing. Where they do the ice castle and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Soul Asylum was playing in the Civic Center, the Roy Wilkins side, I think. They opened for the Smithereens. I remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was in the Roy Wilkins side. I remember that.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can play this. This is like, and Brian saw it and he was like, we're going to do this. So Derek was like, no, we're not. So he quit. we changed our style immediately, like just like that. And this would have been like, we probably played a couple shows that spring of '90, and then we put out our record as Gone Irate, but half the record was our future, became Galactic Radio.
Okay.
Pete was in the band, and so we just changed our style, and then Derek exited, and he didn't love it. So Brian had all these intricate solos, and he turned them into kind of just junked them all up, and Derek was pissed, and
Yeah, we had kind of a animosity, kind of a deal where we went to a kind of more of the sub pop sound.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it so much. I'm a metal guy.
We were a really bad take on Soul Asylum. Like, we were a poor man's. Like, if you took Soul Asylum and the Replacements and had a baby, and that baby was the ugliest baby you'd ever seen. We had fun, though. We did. We had a good time. Yeah.
And there's the click mark.
Right? We had a good time. We actually did pretty well. We actually got... So, Pete went to this school for juvenile delinquents, and he probably is an adult delinquent now. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen that guy in
30 years.
Yeah, it's been forever.
Were you saying the same thing about me last week?
Right. He probably is a delinquent. Pete went to school, or his teacher used to room with Dave Perner. So he knew Perner for years, and he got Perner to come. This is like right after school got out. Perner came to Pete's school like 9 a.m, and he doesn't ever do that, and came and jammed with us. So we got to jam.
I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah, and we played All Right Now by Free for 45.
Because I think they were in the
fucking
same
minutes, man.
rehearsal space area as us. At
They
that
probably
point in
were,
time.
yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he was super nice, super sweet to us, and super kind. And we'd run into him here and there. They'd play shows and stuff. Danny Murphy was, it was World Party. The singer for World Party just passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, World Party was playing in the main room, and Jellyfish, do you remember that band?
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, they were opening. They were incredible. So we didn't get to see World Party because we had to play New Band Night in the entry. We conned Danny Murphy to leave World Party to come watch us. I don't know how
was so nice, though.
He was
I remember
nice
being
to
at parties.
I think
Dan
people
would
took
be at.
advantage of his niceness. That's the problem. Is he would be so nice, and then we would like, why did I ever be nice to these guys? They just bugged the fuck out of me. He came and saw us, and then we got to open for them in the main room that December afterwards because hey, yeah, that was cool. You got to want to open. I don't think he really liked us. I think he was just being nice.
And that was Galactic Rodeo?
Yeah, Galactic Rodeo.
Okay,
so
yeah.
We did okay
New
for
Band
a couple
Night
years.
actually got a main
worked.
room gig. But you
worked.
had a lot of experience with 7th Street and everything and dealing with the people and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
at that point in time. It wasn't like you were just a rookie going into New Band Night and you guys had
No, but I just felt
knowledge.
we're starting over. We got to do New Band Night again.
Yeah.
kind of
I
the
did
thing,
too. I did
so.
it even though I had played the entry for like 9 years. 7 years. I still went and did it with Snafu.
I want to say I did it in another band, probably like 96 or 7. Just because I wanted to play the entry. That's the last time I played there, and I always loved that room.
Oh, I love that room too. I hate the room when you first get in there at 3:00 in the afternoon and they haven't cleaned up from the night before and your feet are all sticking to the floor.
When's the last time you've been there? So I went.
You would have came to our wedding if we would have got married.
You got married in the entry?
No,
we were gonna
we
get
were
married in the
planning
entry.
on it. We were going to.
Yeah.
So I went to see a friend play there just pre-COVID, and they built a second bathroom.
Really?
So yeah, and
What's that
because next door they have their restaurant thing now, right? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, the grill
and I
thing.
think you can get to the bathrooms from it. So I think you share I think. I don't know. I've never figured that part out. But they have a second bathroom that's really nice and sweet. And I walked in and went, no. It's like, well, the other ones, I'm like, I'll wait. I want that dumpy green light bathroom it's cleaner now, but it's like, I'm not going some fancy bathroom. It's the entry.
I want to feel like I'm going to get a tetanus shot when I'm done.
In the main room, when I had 3 pair of jeans that had, because this is after I was old enough to drink, and you did, and if you leaned up against that trough, why are you leaning up against the trough? But they had rust stains.
I think the last time that we were there, not in the main, was the Prince.
No, I went to First Wrestling.
Oh yeah, because
There.
of the two.
Yeah, that's Eric.
I saw they
Eric
just
Cannon.
did one too, didn't they? Recently, another wrestling thing.
I don't. Yeah, he did the Mall of America.
But I thought the main room just did, or First Ave
Oh.
just did a wrestling thing again.
Yeah,
I feel
that's the guy with the mohawk there. That's Eric Cannon.
Okay.
He's the guy that runs it. That's actually Seth Rollins, the guy who's the WWE champion right now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So, shifting gears for just a second, since we're
Sure.
still in 1990.
Oh yeah.
In '89, there was. Do you remember the Metal for Man's Best Friend show at all, or is that something that was before your time?
I vaguely recall this. I probably
Okay.
went to it. Yeah.
Why don't you put that on the table there?
And if I didn't go to Holzkamp, for sure went. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So that was all these bands got together. That was all of us playing the main room. It was Disturbed, Coup de Grace, Insidious Prophets, Soylent Green, and then Animosity. And so
Insidious Prophets. That name.
Yeah, Devry.
Okay.
We probably did some shows with them.
Yeah.
But that guitar right up there, Dave, if you can get that.
Oh, yeah.
That's Earl's.
Is it really?
Earl on that night dropped his guitar at the very end of the night and snapped it. And I bought it from him at his garage sale. He hid it underneath the table. I'm like, Earl, is this the guitar that you broke at the entry? And he's like, yeah, I was hoping somebody make it into a lamp or something. And it's like, no, it still sits here in my house. It's, Yeah.
You know, you're the reason why I got on any radio, because I told you this story.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't remember how we met. I probably picked up your cassette down in the valley, and I'm the kind of person, I don't know why, but I would call the phone number because we put our phone numbers on there. And I probably called you, and then we went to see you play somewhere or something, and we met, but I don't know how we just started talking, and one time it was probably 2 a.m, and he calls my house, and I'm like, what are you doing fucking calling my house? My parents are sleeping. And you were on the air with Earl, and you were like, you wanted me to get on and talk about our band. And I think the very next week we went on with Earl, all because of you. I owe you my career, man. Yeah. Earl was sweet. He let us on there a few times after that. And I don't,
Yeah, he was great. I went on with Mike from Sanctus. I think Al. Yeah, Al and Mike from Sanctus about earlier this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was fall. And that was pretty fun. And then Andy, my old guitar player.
I can't see your face.
You're not supposed to see my face. And then Andy,
I could do this, and we both could be out of.
Andy, the guitar player for Animosity, was just on with his band Bloodshot, and
really?
they played 3 Animosity tunes on the Route last week.
That's awesome. Is
Earl Root.
Josh Kellerman doing that?
He did the Route, yeah. I know he's locked in with. Had you known Josh forever?
Yeah, well, because Brian. So I've known Josh since Brian Holtzkamp.
Well, that's probably how we know each other,
years,
because I know Josh from back in that day too.
Yeah.
So that's probably how we initially met. Yeah, we don't have a good story. We're both locked up in the same jail cell or something.
Right.
It's just I don't remember. But so then the Galactic Rodeo thing. How long did that last for?
Galactic Rodeo, 2-ish years, and then we started to morph our sound more and more. Pete left the band but Pete went on and did Guzzard and all these other things with his brothers, and
okay.
His brother Danny, his little brother Danny, who was like, this kid was like 12 and he could play drums like better than Pete, and he could write songs, and he was like making his own demos at 12. He's playing guitar for Helmet now. So Pete,
is he really?
Pete and he live out in California, and they do a band. You should check him out.
Who did he replace? The Australian dude?
I don't know. He's been in the band for 10 or 12 years now.
Oh wow, we played with them in the entry.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw him. I saw him in the main room a couple times. Yeah, because remember Steve McClellan would just give you need to go see this band. And so I saw them a couple times. But yeah, Pete and Danny live out in California. They have a band called Killer Hill. Look them up. They're
Killer Hill.
So good.
We'll put a link in the description down below.
They're heavy. I really dig them. So
okay.
So Pete left. We got another guy, Gary Hetty, played drums, and so we kind of started morphing into this almost hippie-ish. Like we were trying to be the Beatles. Like Brian, when Brian got a bug up his butt, I want to be Neil Young. I want to be the Beatles. I want to be.
You just immediately changed to it. Yeah, and you're just sitting shotgun. All right, let's go.
The Beatles thing was fun. We did a lot of harmonies.
Bass and all of them?
Yeah, I was still playing bass, but we did a lot of harmony vocals, which was fun, and learning how to do that because we didn't know what we're doing. We were just like, you would listen to the radio and do it, and you would just learn by trial and error. And so we did that, and we changed our name to Stone Soup at some point.
Yep, I found this today too.
It's
something that somebody wrote up. It was
flavor of old time rock and roll and an uptown attitude. What the heck? Stone Soup brings to life a unique blend of music that takes you back to the days of the early Kiss, Ted Nugent. The Thamesmen? Yes, the Spinal Tap thing. Was it the Thamesmen?
I don't know.
I
just found this today. This was in my sheet.
Give me some money. Their strange brand of humor combined with and aggressive combined with really bad grammar and aggressive stage show completes the mixture to be a super supper on anyone's menu. Their self-titled cassette contains ill jammin' tunes to rock your roll and to shake your butt to. Current project consists of many local shows, an in-store performance at Northern Lights. Oh, Northern Lights.
Yeah, I remember.
This one in Bloomington. Was there a Northern Lights in Bloomington? I didn't know that.
I don't remember it. There was Road Racer Record, or there was Aardvark Records.
The release of a 4-band compilation. I do remember Mad Radish Records, the one and only vinyl ever that we were on. Other bands would be the Vibro Champs, Dog 994, and Montalban. Keep an eye out for this and watch for Stone Soup at a truck stop near you. At a truck stop near you.
Awesome. I have no idea.
That's Holt's Camp. That has to be. That's his humor.
Is it really? Okay. Because I don't know. It's one of those things I guess because there's also Sick on here, and that's Mike Bowden from Disturbed, and Groove Circus with Johnny Holiday, who's now in The Hype.
Oh.
And he's in, I think, Chasing the Ovation still. And
is he really?
Yeah.
So oh my gosh,
yeah,
her name.
You're on the same page.
This is horrible. I'm going to say it on video, and I can't remember my drummer for Hebba Jebba, his girlfriend's name. I can't, but she's in Chasing the Ovation too. She's a keyboard player. Shit, that's horrible. Because I know her. It's like.
We'll look it up and add it.
Yeah, you can edit. Can you just edit like I said her name?
That's why I talk behind the mic in case I got to do any overdubs.
So just before Scott finishes Irish.
We are sponsored by.
Oh yeah, sponsored in part 20% off by McDonald's and Shamrock Shakes, and always by Shure SM58 microphones. Always use the SM58s.
Always.
There's nothing else that I ever use, so unless I don't have one, and then I have to use something.
Then you just scream at the top
really
of your lungs.
loud. But yeah, it was kind of fun that I found these things,
So we played the Mirage a couple times together, I think.
Okay, we used to play all the time when I was in Snafu.
Yeah.
I don't recall much of it. I remember there was small stage and large stage.
There was?
Yeah.
That.
For a while they took, well, first off, for all age and not all age, they had a big fence that went down the center of the room.
Yep.
And then for the other one, for the small stage, they actually took and put a barricade up in front of the stage and put this little tiny stage on there because they couldn't fill the room and they were tired of it looking so bad. Because when Mirage
so it would actually go into the crowd space.
Because Mirage, when they opened up, Poison was on top, Motley Crue was on top. All these hair metal bands, who was their booker was John Domago, and he was all tied into them. They opened with Faster Pussycat, and everything. And then all of a sudden there was this noise that came from Seattle.
Changed the world.
It changed everything. And then they all went, wait a minute, what do we do? What do we do now? So they had this huge club and they didn't have the right music to go with it anymore.
We were mad about it. Like a lot of the metal people were mad about it. We were mad about it because at that time we were already doing what people would call alternative, and we hated that term. So, are you guys alternative music? Alternative to what? So,
alternative to music.
Yeah, it was just just kind of made us mad on the other end, to the point, I think Nirvana's great. I do. But at the time, I wouldn't listen to them at all. I was like, fuck that,
I did not like Kurt Cobain.
And then it was probably a couple years, my brother lived out there. He's like, so he sent me Nevermind for Christmas, and then about 6 months later I put it on. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good, man. It's not bad. So
it is. I just didn't personally like Kurt Cobain's attitude, but I didn't understand.
Oh, sure.
Because back in that day I was like, you're getting all these great I'll take them.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you hate everything so bad, I'll do it.
Right.
But now I'm like, he was kind of tormented by that whole
thing.
For
sure. It was a rough time for sure. Yeah. But so that kind of screwed up everything for Mirage, but they kind of adjusted, didn't they?
Not really. They kind of tried, but they never really pulled it together after that. They tried bringing in dance clubs and all that kind of stuff. It just didn't work.
I can't imagine venues nowadays, and venues are opening too, but it's such a struggle to get people to come out. And
Oh yeah. Well, when they banned smoking,
Yeah.
that was a big thing. We lost a lot of people for that. And then when they stayed open till 2, it made it a lot harder because it's all younger people that are coming out now. And,
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they don't really care about
power
music.
drinking.
Well, there are music. There are people who care about music. Maybe that's the struggle. Is I'm really old, and who's going to come out to see us? And we need to start playing like 2 p.m.
Yeah, I
2
did.
p.m.
I went and saw
I saw. Go to bed at 8 o'clock now.
After Matlock.
I saw Kissin' Time at a matinee at the Legion.
Oh yeah,
It was great.
That's
I was home by
perfect.
8.
Yes,
it was perfect.
And you don't have to deal with like all the flashing headlights in your face and all that stuff.
I can't drive at night anyway.
Right? Who wants to be out there in the middle of the night with all those miscreants?
That's right.
Doing God knows what that we used to do.
Exactly. Do we need to wait for everybody to come to the old folks' home that we're at in order to be able to hear this music again?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
precisely.
but yeah. And did Stone Soup? Did that kind of end your metal side of things, or what? I'm trying to.
Stone Soup was probably more like we were really kind of more of a blues rock trio. I think we initially had another guitar player, and then we decided to just go as a trio.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing more of like Brian was really into a Stevie Ray Vaughan thing and Allman Brothers and all that. And
Okay.
Allman Brothers is not easy. You can't do this as a trio, but the vibe and it didn't excite the music. Well, he's a great songwriter. I loved the songs we were doing, but that music didn't really excite me. And then around that time, I started to realize I don't think I want to, because I was still like, this is what I'm doing with my life.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this because there's just so much gross about the industry stuff that I was starting to see actually play out.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't think I want to do this. So I quit. I just quit, and I bought a 4-track and a couple.
When was that?
About 94.
94.
Say, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. And just started writing really a lot of really bad songs, a lot of songs. So I did just kind of a side band with a friend, a couple friends, Derek Kosh for a while, and then he was in and out a little bit, and we would play. I don't know. We did do that band. They were called the Moondogs. We played the entry, just because we were trying to. I'm like, let's
New
get
band
some.
night.
Yeah. So like, let's just get a few shows. We played Terminal Bar. We played the entry. We played Mario's Keller Bar.
Okay.
It was a German place northeast.
Northeast. Okay.
And then in the basement they had
one in South
bands.
Minneapolis.
I'm trying to think of the place, what it was called upstairs though. That was where they had the boot and the
Oh.
snuff. And
I remember drinking out of the
Yeah.
boot. I don't remember the name of it.
do you remember after drinking out of the boot?
No. I remember it touching my lips. That's the
Yeah.
last thing I remember.
Yep, that was a dangerous place for many people. But we were so because it was trying to get like tight short shows, we could do our own stuff because we wrote a lot of our own stuff, and then we would play this place out in Loretto just to play for beer.
Yep.
Do that for a
yeah.
while. Yeah. So and then I just kind of fell out of music for the. I kept writing, kept doing things. Played a lot at church for a few years.
Oh, you played at church too?
Mhm.
Yeah, Al Douglas from Sanctus is doing that right now.
Is he?
In this North Church. I can't remember the name of the church off the top of my head. But.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was around when my son was graduating high school that I started. I think I was doing all this recording, and I had a DAW and was like, maybe I'll be an engineer and help people make demos, So I'm like, I'll go play these open mics, thinking I'll meet other songwriters or whatever, and maybe I can help them make a demo. And then I realized I'm no good at that really. It's like I can do it, but it just doesn't sound not. But I really like playing again, and I'm like, this is fun. And so I'm sitting there with just me and my guitar, and
Yep.
having to figure out how to, and it helped me shape my songs in a way that just put them down onto a hard drive. Yeah, this is that. But once I started like actually having to play it in front of someone, you start to go, ooh, I need to figure out how to formulate a song and think it through. So it actually helped me a lot. And then meeting people and playing. So I've been doing that 5 or 6 years now. So
I think that the people, I mean, when you try and do it individually, which I have too, but when you try and do it individually, you realize how much is missing by these other people.
Oh my gosh.
Regardless of, what kind of input they have in it, whether it's something that pisses you off or some, what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there might be somebody that just really pisses you off, but you just musically you just click.
Oh, and it changes things so much. It's incredible. So I use drum loops if I'm doing some of my own stuff because out of necessity I can't play drums. But it's not a drummer. other people bring in a guitar thing because I can't play guitar that well. So my guitar solo is going to be like, bow, 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 versus having a friend. And then I sent some stuff to these people in Nashville when a couple of songs, and they basically tracked all the instruments. So good. And I'm like, that's when I realized I think I need to play with people, man. I need, and I started doing more of that kind of thing, trying to find that. And Hebba Jebba came out of that.
Okay, now let's, this, which one is Hebba Jebba?
That's Hebba Jebba, yeah.
This is Hebba Jebba. You got that, Jay? All right.
And
Do you want me to take a picture?
No, I'll pull it off. Is this a 3-piece then?
No, it's actually a 4-piece.
How come there's only 3 people in there?
Because the bass player doesn't get his picture on it. Well, I'll tell you that story. So this initially was going to be a solo record of mine, right?
Yeah.
We all went to high school together. Those are our high school senior pictures.
Oh, really?
Wait, on the back of it?
Yeah. So it was going to be my solo record. Paul, the cute one, he was going to produce it. He's incredible. You know, that's the best sounding quote unquote solo record. But by the time we got it done and they played all over it, Mark and Paul were in like metal bands and they played like Iron Horse and Mirage and tour. You know, I think they were part of Good Mileage. You know, Good GMA. Was it GMA? Was that one?
Music Association?
We call it Good Mileage because
Good
they would send you like your tour was never like
keep
logical. Stop. It was, you know. So he.
I'm really breaking the sugar habit today.
Sure, it's all good. They brought a heavier edge. When I say heavier, I'm a jangly acoustic guitar or Tom Petty thing, and they pound their drums and Mark plays some killer solos. So I'm like, this needs to be a band. Let's call it a band. And then, well, we need a bass player because I played bass all over it, and so we asked our buddy Tom, who went to Cooper with us. We're all Cooper grads. That's the rule. You want to be in that band, you have to be a Cooper grad.
Well, do you know that the Thayer brothers all went to Cooper?
Yes.
So you could pull. That's my brother. My brother-in-law is Jimmy Thayer.
Really?
Yeah, the oldest.
Oh, Billy was. If he was in Counter Attack, they were one of the first bands. They were definitely the first local band I ever saw.
Okay, and Nightcrawler, they used to play in Nightcrawler.
I don't know if I ever saw Nightcrawler. No, we opened for Nightcrawler. That's right, we did. Probably in the early 2000s. So
the Slave Raider tribute band that I did back in 2008 was me, Jimmy, my brother-in-law, Bobby, the bass player, and then Sean Sullivan, a guy from Roosevelt that I knew.
Oh yeah,
that I worked
awesome.
with, and we did a whole Slave Raider thing. Yeah, it was so
That's
fun.
awesome. That's brilliant.
But yeah, so you had to be in Cooper to be in. Now is this band still current?
Yeah. We're actually working on a second record now. It won't take 3 years this time. It's
okay.
We started tracking in January, and we're getting close.
Where are you doing the recording? Are you doing
we recorded,
yourself?
we recorded all of it. Mark is the guitar player. We rehearsed at his place, and we just brought in all this gear and tracked there. And now we've been just like redo this guitar. We redid all of my vocals because we tracked live in a room together. Mm-hmm. So when I sang, we knew everything was scratch. Toss it, right? It was just a guide.
Oh, gotcha.
So
yes, what do they call it? Scratch track.
Yep.
So
we tossed all that and probably tossed. Mark redid all his guitars, and so we've got a few things to do here: harmony, vocals, and then so I think we'll plan to have a record out by fall. Maybe we'll put a single out in the summer. I don't know. We're starting to.
Where do people release stuff now?
I think we're just going to do digital. I think
like Spotify or something.
Yeah, because. That was a short run, and I've got a shit ton of those CDs. I was like, nobody does CDs, and I don't want to do vinyl, which is like, I would love to do vinyl, but even a short run, I'm gonna end up with most of them in my.
Well, we were gonna do Beneath 13 Stone on vinyl this year,
like a run of 50
like
or 100.
Yeah. Which would basically 20 per band member.
Right.
It's like everybody's kids and stuff.
Right.
But it didn't come to pass. It was just, life. You know what I mean? So,
and it's costly. It's costly.
It is, yeah. But I just think it would be fun to have a full LP album, But
yeah. So maybe someday. But right now, I think we're talking do just digital. I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotcha. And
people, I don't know. People are gonna.
How do you mail stuff out to like radio stations?
That's a good question. That we might do a short run if we need it for any radio station. If any radio stations need it, but it's becoming more and more where they are like, send me. In fact, I don't know why they do MP3s, but they want MP3s a lot of times. So.
Oh, okay.
So, and we're not doing really much commercial radio.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we'll shoot for the current, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
Well, and
but all KFAI and all
yeah.
that, they'll play it. You know, there's
Yep.
certain stations on there that are stations, DJs on there that I know that
Yep.
will get played on. So,
and what kind of music is that?
you know, imagine Tom Petty with members of Soul Asylum and that's our backing vocal. Members of Soul Asylum and maybe Van Halen backing.
Okay.
You know, I don't know.
Members, though? Are we talking Hager Halen or are we talking Roth Halen?
No, neither of them for singers. I can't sing like that. Holy no. So I think there's probably a bit of a Soul Asylum-y vibe just because of Dave Pirner and Paul Westerberg, their snarky one-liner lyric type of thing that they're really good at. Yeah. I love that. That just speaks to me.
Yeah.
If you could take a line and make it not make sense, I'm a fan of that. So, I don't know, but like the new record has got like we're getting Marcus. He's a shredder on guitar, and so like that record, he tended to like pull back, and there was one song in particular I'm like, no, you gotta just go balls out. And this one, I think he's starting to do more of that, and our songs are a little more edgier, if you will. They're not heavy, but they're just kind of like got this kind of, I don't want to say punk type rock and roll, but you think of go to like
a rawness.
Yeah, a little more raw kind of rock and roll vibe to it. And then we might bust out a little like where we're doing this weird prog rock type thing that is weird. So I don't know, the third record might be all full on like old school Genesis or something. That's a
Abacab?
Yeah. or like the I can't think of his name now. The dude who was the original singer. Peter Gabriel, yeah. Like that era. I mean, I might be doing like the weird backwards, like shave it right in the middle. Yeah. Although it's doing it itself. So.
Yeah, mine does that too. So in addition, now what's this one here? This is
I put out a few records myself.
This is just Ted Hajnasiewicz. Tony wanted to make a record.
My buddy Tony, he said, I want to record with you, but I want it to be rock and roll. I don't want none of your hillbilly shit or whatever. So half of the record is probably more rock and roll. Tracked it with the drummer toured with Love and Spoonful, and so.
Oh, really?
But it's not like the problem is Tony mixed it. And then I'm like, I'm going to learn to master. And I totally screwed that thing up because I'm like, I want to go for an 80s vibe. You know how when you listen to like 80s, like my brain was like 80s is like the very thin because everybody had either a boombox or they're really shitty radios.
Yeah.
Well, I got it. It sounds so bad. It's like there's nothing there but just there's no
really
low
high
end.
Trebles.
There's no low end. It's just really bad mids and that's it. So.
Mids and trebles.
Yeah, it's just so I'm like, damn it. So and I've got a lot of those CDs because I picked up the CDs. The next day, the world shut down.
Oh, it was...
So no release show, no nothing. And I don't even want to give
so
people
like May 18th of 20...
Or March, yeah.
March 18th. Oh, wow. 3 years ago today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Or no, 4 years ago tomorrow, we shut down from COVID.
Yes. I want to say I played a show like the last day before we shut down. I played a...
Thank you, good night. Put a mask on, leave.
Like, I hope I'm not killing anybody.
That was crazy. Right. This was my office. When I worked from here, when I worked from home. So, and let's see what else we got up here. You got a couple others. Which is the newest thing?
The newest thing is the International Treasures. Okay. So this one, Just for Show, that was written and recorded during lockdown. So I probably started recording in late 2020.
Okay, and this is just you?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, the part of it is that actually is two records in one, but the first half of it, my buddy Ryan mixed it. And then I don't know if you know who Sarah Morris is. She's a phenomenal songwriter. Oh my gosh, she's an incredible songwriter and an incredible singer. And I'd met her a couple times pre-COVID, but during COVID, it was where I had the courage to go, hey, would you sing on something? Like just behind a keyboard, because I just never think, hey, I'm Ted. It just doesn't work, but I can call you. Right. And so I'm sure we're friends because you must have initiated things because there's no way in hell I would have. That's not me. Well, I approached her and she's like, yeah, for sure. And we become great friends. Well, she sang all over it. this guy in Nashville who plays incredible B3 and Wurlitzer and all that, plays all over.
Really? Okay.
Another guy that through Fiverr. If you ever heard of Fiverr?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
You can get things, and some are good and some are bad. Musicians, some are good. Well, there's a dude named Toby Wilson who lives, I forget where in England, Sheffield, England, I think. He plays pedal steel, and like, so he played pedal steel and dobro all over it.
Really?
Yeah, it's fabulous. And then the other record was just me, like the other half of it is me just chunking out songs, and I think I had a couple friends join here or there. So I put that out, and I did a release show on like the internet because we're still locked down.
Oh yeah, like a live thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, but I did made a really cool video. If you go to my YouTube, Ted H Tunes you can find me anywhere.
All right.
And there's a video for Just
and we'll
for
put
Show.
it down in the description.
Yeah, the video is a buddy of mine. He used to work for like Care 11, and he is a videographer. He retired now, but I was one of the last people. He's like, I want to make a video, Ted, for you.
Really?
So we went out
full on video
during COVID, and my hair wasn't quite long yet, but it was all over the place. So we sprayed the shit out of it, so it was just crazy standing up.
Yeah.
Put on Charlie Chaplin makeup, and my wife put on, so she looks like she's from the 20s, and we did this, not stop motion, but that kind of, the song, we got a slowed down version of the song that we're singing and dancing to and lip syncing. And so the whole thing is us doing that on a lake and then canoodling. It's just really sweet and awesome. Yeah,
wow.
So
I can't wait to see it.
That was fun. So yeah. That was a lot of fun.
And that was when did you?
2021 is when
2021.
that came out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that's within the past few. So you've really just like you went full on metal guy,
right?
Alternative guy. I'm done, and then you went off, had a family and all that kind of stuff, right? And so, do you want to say anything about?
Yeah. So I have two kids of my own, and they are now 27 and 24. My daughter Stella and my son Dylan.
Uh-huh.
And I remarried in 2011, and my wife has 3 kids, and her kids are older. I don't even know if they want me to say their age because
they're adults.
Well, yeah,
they're adults. Yeah.
I have 10 grandkids, man. I have 10 grandkids. 10 grandkids. I had my first grandkid when I turned 41. So he's 12 now. It's insane. It's wild. And then our youngest
are
each
of those
2
kids have 10 grandkids. That'd be 100.
And I could be alive to see some of them. Yeah.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
I'm not babysitting the great grandkids.
They'll just come and bring you a box of Thin Mints every Christmas.
Like, just give him enough candy until he passes out. They call us Oma and Opa. So Becky and Stanton were the first one to have kids. Becky is Phyllis's oldest, and Stanton's from Cape Town, South Africa. And because there was some German occupation at one point, Oma and Opa is a German thing for grandma and grandpa.
Oh
yeah.
So they call us Oma and Opa. So all the grandkids took that on.
Wow.
So Oma, I'm Opa. Opa! Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. They're good. They're good. They're good people.
And then you decided to drive the bus right back onto the music stage.
I never couldn't do music. I'm perplexed when people don't do any music at all, and I wonder how that feels. I just don't know.
Well, let me tell you. When your voice completely goes, and you've done every band that you've wanted to do, that's it.
Right. Time to move on.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure someday, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll still have a little ukulele and
well, I still play my bass. My wife got me that for. Tay got me that for.
Nice.
What was our one here? I'll pull it out for you.
Which one? The fretless bass?
Yeah.
You got a fretless?
It's cool though because it's not. I'll actually hand it to you here. Take a look at this. It's fretless, but it's not. There are no frets, but there are lines.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if it's even in tune, but she got me that for what was that, 1-year anniversary?
Oh man, that's cool.
She took me to Music Go Round, and
I blindfolded you.
She blindfolded me, stared me at the wall, and said, "Pick one."
Why did you pick the one without the actual frets in it?
Because I liked it. It's pretty.
It's cool.
I like it.
And then we also got Thor.
Yeah.
Oh.
The one that was singing earlier.
My first paycheck was poof. But no, I blindfolded him from the house all the way to, what was it? It's out in Burnsville. Oh,
Tell a story then.
hi. So for our 1 year wedding anniversary, I blindfolded him and walked him out, got him in the car, and he's like, "Where are we going? It seems like we're driving forever." And I'm like, "All right." And it's the one in Burnsville.
Yeah. Ben's one.
Yeah, and then so got him in the store, took off the blindfold, and I said, "Pick out whatever you want."
Wow.
And you got a
an amp too.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's Tay, by the way, behind the camera.
Hi.
Give her a little airtime.
Hi, Tay.
So yeah, but yeah, so I play that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to play Surrender, or I started playing bass because my friends had a band with no bass player.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought one. And I went, so what do I do next? And so when I'm playing, so like if I'm playing like a song, I'm like,
yeah,
C.
You always get a job. I went in the 80s with every guitar player was so fast, and I'm like, well, I'll play bass. This is before we talked about being in bands, us kids in like middle school, junior high, we called it back then, long before we ever got together. And so I bought a bass, and then maybe a year or two later, we finally started jamming together. But I never had a problem really getting a gig because nobody wanted to play. Everybody wanted to play guitar, and everybody played.
I'm horrible, so I don't get to have that. But I do like playing it.
I was horrible too, mind you. Back then, we were all horrible, right? It was just that, like that level playing field.
Horrible level. Yeah, no, I was well behind everybody else.
Yeah.
So, but I filled the spot. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so those are your two personal ones.
Yeah.
You did how long? This is International Treasures.
So we put that out September
Of 2023?
2023, yeah.
Okay.
So Doyle and I met. We're in this Facebook group, the Songwriting Challenge. It was a mouthful. That thing started like 10 years ago on Facebook, where they would give you word prompts or something, a picture or something, and you got to write the song. And so one a week or one every 2 weeks, depending on that. And I don't know how I've probably stumbled it because of Sarah, when she was like, we're all fans of her, and he joined, and then I really liked his songwriting. We started writing. This is all remote. One of the songs on the other one, the Just for Show, we co-wrote, but we never met.
Oh, really?
So then when things started to open up, he lives up in Bemidji. He's like, well, come on up to Bemidji, and maybe we'll write together. Here's the thing. There's no cannibalism in Bemidji. I'm like, that's how he sold it. No cannibalism in Bemidji.
No cannibalism? I'm there.
So far, it's true because I'm still here. So so far, maybe I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. No. And then we just became tremendous friends, and not just us, but our wives too. We're just the four of us are just dear friends. So it just started to morph into let's do something together. I always had this, like Waylon and Willie or, those kind of things. They would do records together, but they had their own thing. And then and I'm like, we should do something. And then we started writing, and we put a song out with our names, just our names. And one of our friends called us International Treasures. And I'm like, that sounds like a band name.
That is a really good band name.
Yeah. It sounds arrogant too. Kind of
does.
Like,
it sounds, yeah.
So,
but not on a bad
right.
Let's see. Somebody described me this once as arrogant, but in a humble way.
I like that. I always say I'm the most humble person you ever meet, and good looking. No,
just ask me.
Just ask me. So we put we actually went in and recorded in this. We played a couple summers ago. We played a show on a porch, and like somebody had a yard party kind of thing, and or a house concert, whatever. And they have this incredible land. And then it was Joe and Susan Meyer. And they after we were done, Joe went off, and I'd heard he had this awesome bourbon and whiskey collection in the Quonset hut. I'd never heard the word Quonset hut. I'm like, what the hell's a Quonset hut? But I'm curious. And then Susan was like, well, let me show you like here's this barn. So he takes us, you have to walk up to get into the top part of the barn. And in the winter they do concerts in there, and it's like a concert venue. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then she's like, yeah, and I'll show you the Quonset hut. And we walk in there, and all these bluegrass musicians, they're just jamming away. They're like, so my first thought was, It just sounded so rich and warm. It was cool. The vibe was awesome. And my first thought was, why did they pay us to play? These guys are so good. We're horrible. and my second thought, I looked at Doyle and said, we got to make a record here. So I didn't really know Joe. We asked him. He's like, of course. And I know people. So he brought all these people in to be our band, and they became just our dear friends. So we tracked over 2 sessions, 2 Saturdays live on the floor. All of that. We kept, I would say, 98% of everything.
Really?
We redid a couple vocal takes, and then we overdubbed a few things, but
Yeah.
we didn't. We kept almost all our vocal takes.
You didn't do a scratch take? Just did one
No,
straight
we
line?
just kept it. It was so warm in there. We had a drummer, but he was more playing a trap kit on a couple songs.
Okay.
Most of it was, the loudest thing was there was a pedal steel player. Everything else just kind of blended in, and there was bleed, but it was the music that is. It kind of lends to it, and we wanted to capture a vibe more than make sure everything was perfect. So you probably could find a flub here or there, but it's not like super noticeable.
Music. Yeah.
In fact, if you go, the first Police record is So Lonely, go put that on and listen just before it builds up again. It's got that breakdown, doo 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 doo, and then when it starts to build up, Sting hits a wrong note. It's right there, and they kept it because that's what we should do.
Yeah.
I think, but of course, that's just because I make mistakes all the time.
It's just we meant to do.
Yeah.
That. And this is, what would you describe it? So it's just the two of you, right?
Yeah, it's like a singer-songwriter-y. He's a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how, that singer-songwriter, it's not bluegrass, even though the musicians, you have a fiddle, a mando, a upright bass, that pedal steel, drummer on some songs, and then a couple piano things. And Nikki Lemire, she plays harp.
Oh, okay.
So she only played on a couple songs on the record, but when we play shows, she'll play with us every now and then. She's, oh my gosh, it's like, that's the best musician and singer and songwriter I never heard. And a harp, big old harp.
So, but now,
but it doesn't, it's not like, it's not all this, like you feel like it's going to be music. It's not. It's like,
it's not,
no.
not Morticia Adams. It's
we had this beautiful ballad that Doyle wrote that she was going to do this pretty, I asked, like she could do a lead thing, and that's what we envisioned. And then she goes, and then Doyle has a song called Give Me Some More. It's kind of got more of a rockin' thing. And she goes, I think I have a part for, this is Doyle. I'm telling Doyle's story because this is exactly what he said to me when she emailed us. I think I have a part for that song. He's like, I bet you don't. And she came in and she's got this cool, it just so like, it just like, that's harp. It's just awesome.
I'm interested to, I'll be playing it down here.
Yeah.
Listening
yeah.
to it.
So it's, harp player, man.
Wow.
Gotta get a harp player.
And so when you perform, because I saw a video where it was just you and Doyle.
Yep. We'll do that.
And now you're nominated for an award, right?
Yeah, we got nominated. The Midwest Country Music Organization has an award show every year.
Okay.
And we got nominated for he and I together for Songwriter of the Year.
Oh, no kidding.
Which is on his coattails. Doyle's an incredible songwriter, but so
you're there too, don't?
And then Americana Artist of the Year. Americana is kind of a, like I hated alternative. I was like, that's so stupid. But Americana is kind of a cool word. I don't know what the hell it means. And maybe that's why I like it. Because what does that mean? I don't know.
I'm for some reason thinking a lot of Chrome. I'm thinking 1940s, 50s.
Well, and it spans like Jason Isbell is like he's like the king of Americana or whatever. But or like Brandy Carlisle, that's Americana. Okay. But then blues artists are Americana. It's like the style of music can be so fluid.
Yeah, the spectrum's pretty huge at this point.
It's kind of like rock and we're rock and roll or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like that, and that could be anything from Buddy Holly to full on. I've never been good with genres. Or describe yourself. What do you sound like? I don't know what I sound like. What do I sound like to you?
I sound like if Jeff Tate and Sebastian Bach got together and
drank
a bunch of glass and growled a lot more and then got me to sing. Then that's what I sound like. Yeah.
I like to say power slap. Have you ever seen the movie Airheads?
Oh yeah.
It was like, we're not really like metal, but we're more power slap.
Is that Sandler?
Yeah, I think it was. Yep. Power slap.
Wow. So do you also perform with what I guess I was going to for is so you have these award nominations. Is it for who all is nominated? Is it just the two of you, or is it the other musicians? Or
That's a good question. I think the Americana one could be the whole band. We're trying to, a few of them. We're hoping will come down. It's going to be in Okoboji, Arnold's Park, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
So we're hoping a few of them will. Nikki will be there, the harp player, because she's in another group called the Foxgloves, and they're up for an award too. So she'll be there, and then we're hoping to get a couple others to come down if they can make it.
And you perform at that then too?
I hope so.
Okay.
I have before, like I was nominated last year and the year before or whatever, and I got to perform. So
that's
I hope
cool.
we do. It's a big, like a concert venue. It's huge.
Like an X Fest or something.
Yeah, the first one I went to, and they did the first couple up here. I liked it better because it's closer.
Yeah.
They did them at the Medina. So this other place is probably comparable in size. So that's, for me, that's a big room anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Honestly, my entire career, that's a big room. So
yeah.
I've never done bigger than that,
I played Medina one time, and it was huge. On the stage, even though you're not that high up, it's still, you see heads.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Feels like I've arrived.
You don't. Yeah. It kind of goes off like the horizon. It turns into nothing.
Exactly.
But you so then what do you do for like playing around town? Do you do? Because I saw that there's a show on the 23rd. Is that correct? That you have?
The 20th.
20th.
Hebba Jebba, we play.
Oh, that's Hebba Jebba.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're cheating on.
Yeah, I'm writing.
On Doyle.
I've got my solo thingy that I will do. I've got the treasures, and then Hebba Jebba.
And your grandfather.
And a grandfather.
And what is it? Uga?
Opa.
Opa to 10 kids.
To 10 kids.
Yeah. You're a busy guy.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So so Hebba Jebba, where can
the Driftwood is off? Oh my gosh, I forget what street it's on. I want to say Lake Street, but it's probably Driftwood's in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. And it's in the Hebba Jebba band. That's only a couple days from now.
Right. So or depends on when this airs. We played the Driftwood on the 20th. If it airs later.
The 20th. By the way, this is St. Patrick's Day today.
Right.
And that's why we have the Shamrock Shakes,
right.
which we got 20% off. Tay has a green necklace. Yep.
And then the treasures, I think we got a couple things up on Bemidji. We are doing the turf in June, late June.
Okay.
That's a ways out.
Yeah, that's all right. Well,
love that.
We can put some. You guys got Facebook pages and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think the treasures we have an Instagram, no Facebook, because being that it was going to be like this, I didn't want to have any. So like, let's just do it off our own. And somebody's like, no, you got to have a website. I was like, oh fuck. So I got more things to maintain.
Yeah.
But it works out. So we have an Instagram. Hebba Jebba has a Facebook, and we have a fan page, and
really?
We have a fanzine.
What?
Yeah.
Like this kind of thing?
Yes, but it's digital.
It's printed.
It's a Google Doc. My sister started all that. So it's like, yeah, we got a fan page. Do you have a fan page? You don't have a fan page. We're cooler than you, Domitium.
I'm gonna start my own fan page.
Right.
I'll bet you
Precisely.
I can get paid there. I'm sure I can talk to you.
I want it. I will sign
all
up.
Right. We'll just talk about me a little bit. There.
Yeah,
like, hey, Scott got gas today.
I pooped.
Well, that must be Tuesday then. We're talking. I'm getting up there now. It's not a known thing every day.
I'm not there yet. I enjoy my
poops. Got a little ways to go.
We could talk about poop for a while,
We sure could.
I have played with a band called Poop.
I know.
Did you play with them?
Yes, at the Mirage.
Okay, yeah.
The drummer
Scotty
sang.
Callenbeck.
The drummer sang.
He was one. I think they all sang, but yeah, he sang for sure.
Because
Scotty.
The drum set was towards the front of the stage.
You're right, and he was sideways, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Scotty was great. He played with us in Stone Soup for a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was just a good guy, great drummer. Okay. And then I think it just wasn't his thing, and he moved on. And
You didn't want to be in the Poop Man no more?
Yeah, that was after Poop. Do we say Poop disbanded? Is that like when Poop kind of went its own way? Went from poop to soup. It's usually the other way around. Soup makes you poop. Yeah.
My friend Gonzo, he plays Gene Simmons in the Kiss.
Oh yeah.
Kiss and Time tribute band. He brought me this. We had a band called Fart. It was like, yeah, we stink. You know what I mean? And then we changed it later to we called it Stool. We were the second generation of the band.
Nice.
Then we had our albums like First Cuts,
That's
Unleashed.
Awesome.
Oh, I forgot to turn on little gingerbread man.
We got to start it
No,
over.
We got to start all over again now. Doggone it.
It was.
All right, put this in. Oh, there we go.
Might be
Look at that. Wow.
So
now
you want to start it over?
Okay.
And here
so
we are.
This is Ted. I haven't seen him in 30 years. But it's crazy just sitting here. I mean, it's a little weird because, you know, we got the filming and stuff like that. And thank you, Tay, for doing the videoing for us on this. She did the Jefferson Jaguars football stuff.
Yeah.
How many times have you been tackled?
Let's see, last season was the first time I wasn't tackled. I've been 8 seasons, so I've been tackled like at least once to maybe 3-4 times.
Do you think by now it's like, hey, if we could tackle the camera person?
Well, she gets in there. That's part of the problem.
Because they're like, that'd be a great shot. It would be just me coming right at him.
I am. I'm like right at the
She doesn't lose the shot.
Right, you're not going to lose that shot.
At me, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna back
She
up a
could
little bit,
she could
and
never go over and film like a war because she'd be like, oh wow, I'm getting this missile coming right at me.
Move! I got to get the shot.
I gotta get the shot. I'm going down for the shot. So that's what she does. Yeah. But she really helps out with keeping me going on this kind of thing too. So Mike G from The Art of Guitar was the guy that got me kind of started doing this.
Sure.
So I'm gonna have him on, I think next Sunday.
next week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is my eBay store as well. This is
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
that I
you
have
do
to
eBay.
process. And then I got stuff in all these cabinets in here. So that's part of what I do.
Warehouse /
Yep. If you ever need an 8-track player, let me know.
I actually have one. I put an album out on 8-track 10 years ago or so. So I was like, I had this weird idea because I loved 8-tracks. Like I didn't, there was always like 4.
Yeah.
And between track 3 and 4, there was a song that was always like,
Cut.
and so I'm like, I want to do that. I'll just do it all digital. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I started Googling and I made like 50 copies for $60.
So you
50 copies for $60.
You legit
Did.
Where is this thing? Do you still have 49?
I wish I did. I would have brought you one of those. No, I gave those away. So like nobody's gonna buy it. So that people love the novelty. I don't have one. Otherwise, I would have brought one. So I literally
one guy that could actually play it.
I had to figure out which song I wanted to cut because I'm like, it's got to be there. And then you have to make sure each track is equal in length.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, shoot, how are you going to do that? So I actually have it's this weird, where I speak. I'm like, okay, so I've got a couple minutes left. I don't know what I'm going to do. So why don't I just tell you a little bit about myself? And then I found out Harry Nilsson did something like that one because the guy who made it, he sent me and he was like, that was so great. Do you know Harry Nilsson did the same thing when he put one of his on 8-track in the 70s? I'm like, get out of here, really?
I suppose you got to do something. I didn't know that you had to match them all up.
Yeah, they have to be relatively close so that they can click to play to the next,
You kind of got to have the cassettes be both similar and at least really close.
Yeah. So I went and bought an 8-track player, and I probably spent $60. You don't need to get this stupid.
So you're $120
in for this stupid thing. And then it's more, and those were probably $2 each. But the 2 8-tracks that I remember, because my 8-track stories are great. So Queen's The Game, love that album. Oh, I love it so much. My aunt, who's only 3 years older than me, she had that 8-track in an 8-track player. And so we would go over to visit all the time because when we were little, she was like a big sister, and my brother and her were really close in age. Mm-hmm. And we go over there, and I'm always in her bedroom playing this 8-track, just constantly, to the point where she gave me the 8-track player and the 8-track.
Oh, nice.
And then a few months later, another one of the aunts gave me Hall & Oates' Private Eyes. And I loved that one too. So I went and bought both those albums on 8-track. So that's probably $162 in.
Oh, okay. So, $162.
Yeah.
With a little tax.
But it was worth it. Every now and then I'll pop it in. It doesn't even play well. It's like, but it plays. So every now and then I'll pop it on 8-track.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Mine was Van Halen's first album. Was awesome on 8-track.
I did have Kiss's first album on 8-track for a time.
But
that was later. I was in high school.
Well, you had to collect all the stuff from Kiss. I mean, I got Hotter Than Hell over there, and I just gotten the original blue vinyl. Blue label, because they didn't. The one that I got didn't have the black label. It had the blue label. I don't know.
Sure.
But I got it at No Name at Kiss Day. So No Name in November does Kiss Day.
Yes. The last 2 years I've been, Todd Jameson has told me about it. I'm like, I want to do this. He's like, yeah. And then something comes up. This year I'm going to beg to see if I can get on, and I want to play like Shandy or something like that.
Baylor does it. And Steve Boykin does it.
Yeah.
And Todd does it. Todd Jameson. And then
I'm at least going to go.
John does
I at least
it.
want to go, dang it. I just want to.
Oh, yeah. I've been to 2 of them, actually. And it's really fun. Gonzo wears
Does he?
his Kiss outfit.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should do something. Let's do it.
Do a little Shandy. Shandy.
No, I don't want to do Shandy.
I actually like that song. Remember, I'm the ballad guy. So, like, I know it's not even that great, but it's like Shirt or something.
I'll meet you in the middle off of
World Without Heroes.
No. Love in Chains.
Love in Chains. Yeah, anything off Paul's solo
Paul
record.
Stanley
Yeah.
solo. I'll meet you in the middle. So maybe if we can get on, we might have to go and Nancy Kerrigan somebody's knee or something to get in there because the people that do it just love it.
Yeah,
so they keep doing it and keep.
So
doing it.
they're not gonna. Yeah,
they're not. It's not like there's like begging people to play it.
No. Well, I mean, if nothing else, I would like to just go and just.
Yeah, I've been to I've been to the past 2. It's really fun.
With you last year.
Huh?
I think I went there with you last year.
Yep. We saw Moosey John playing.
Brent Aarons, does he do that too?
From Flip.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him there.
I think he owns Rocksteady Records now.
Does he really?
I think he does.
He is. Let me see. Let me make sure. On Life and Times of the Humble Narrator. Yeah, there he is. He's a secondary engineer on this.
Is he really?
Yeah, for the guitars.
Wow.
That was when we did Brian Bart's studio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah. That was back in '89. Back in the days. Jeez. Do you have any of your Gone Irate tapes anymore?
Yes. I have a box, and it's at the very back of behind the steps, so I can't get to any of that. But I've got Gone Irate, I've got Galactic Rodeo, got Stone Soup, I've got a band I was in called Unchained, another one called
Van Halen Tribute?
Rude Awakening. Well, yeah, the guitar player was huge into Eddie. So Rude Awakening, and those are really bad. So it's like, I didn't intend to be the singer because I couldn't sing, but we couldn't find a singer, so I ended up singing. But remember what I said? I couldn't sing. It's like, hey, so it's like this voice is cracking.
I've never been able to sing, but yet I got 4 or 5 albums out.
Right, and so I ended up just becoming a singer out of all of it, and I think that anybody can sing. There's the truth. Anybody can sing. Most people hate their voice, and you have to forget you're singing. It's really forget you're there. Then you're gonna be fine. You find your voice by forgetting you're doing it.
And all it takes is one good crowd, and to look out at that good crowd.
Yeah, and then you're addicted.
And you're just like into them. You're not even thinking about what you're doing. You're just in muscle memory, and that's because my first show, I hid behind Chad, the bass player. I had no intention on doing this in front of people. Are you kidding me?
I was glued because I was playing bass and singing, and I was glued to the microphone. Just like I didn't move it on the whole time like this.
You'd have to pull away to headbang.
But this was 15 or 16, and I don't even know if I knew to headbang yet, because that would have been another motion, and I've got to concentrate on all this stuff. So, yeah.
Wait, I gotta move my head up and down.
I know. Yeah, it's like that came later. It's where it became comfortable or something. Yeah. So.
See, I didn't have an instrument. I just got to jump all over the place. It was amazing.
I did that once. We played Rude Awakening. I was a singer, just a singer.
Oh, really? So you just had the mic and that was it?
So I crawled up in the rafters in the entry when we played there.
I did that too.
Yeah, up in the light rafter things.
Yep, yeah. We got a video of me doing it of grabbing it because you can just grab on.
Yep.
From the stage and just hang and
So I don't even know if they have them anymore. But I was like joking like Hebba Jebba because Mark was in that band with me. I'm like, we should play there and I'll get the leopard print or zebra print jacket that I had, but it won't fit because I'm fat now. And then I'll go try to lift up and I can't. It's like I could probably touch it, but I'm like, I can't. Never mind.
I would imagine that they probably still have that because otherwise they probably wouldn't have a roof.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Because that is the entry.
Was the coat room for the depot when it was a bus depot.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I knew
Is
it was.
that where the Greyhound bus was?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became Uncle Sam's, and it was that for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And my sister's group that used to go to like Uncle
Oh, yeah.
Sam's. Yeah,
The dance club thing?
Yeah, I think my cousin was a bouncer there, and then I think he started with First Avenue when they transitioned. So, yeah. And then Prince played there, and then I played there, and then you played there. It's got so much history. It's so great.
Right. I mean, Prince played there and it did okay, and then we played there. And
then it really took off.
It took off. You're welcome, First Avenue.
Yeah. I wish I could have seen the time, though.
Yeah, I'd never seen Prince play there either. All the times, and then even when he blew up, and he would go do like last minute shows there.
Yeah.
Or when he was doing them at Paisley all the time.
Yeah.
Never went. I always found out it was so last minute that I found out, shoot, that was last night. Damn it. I was just not cool. So.
We did a video for Prince's Memorial Highway thing where we went to drive it.
Okay.
Not exciting. And so we didn't put it on. But we ended up pulling into Paisley, and they, on the 7th of every month, they just open it up and they have people playing, and they, got cheesecake and water, and you know what I mean, just kind of chill out in the energy room, where they have the bands and stuff. And that's the 7th of every month, and it's kind of
You're doing this now?
We were there.
We just did this.
I live like 10 minutes away from there.
Yeah,
not really.
Maybe 15. Maybe 15 minutes away.
10 minutes away from there.
But on the opposite direction. Like really, it's like maybe 15 minutes.
We could meet at Paisley Park.
Right.
I don't know if they're still doing it, because the first time when we went in and they were like, today's the first day, it's like a test pilot, and then we went there for your birthday.
Yeah, and that was 2 months later.
Yeah, I think the security guard said it was only going to be doing it for like 5 months. So maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I heard they're opening the actual studio up. Like I don't know if it's true. If I heard a rumor, like they might be opening the studio up again to like so people could track sessions there again.
That'd be cool.
It'd be a good use of that space.
Yeah, I heard on the radio this week that he put out Kiss, the song Kiss, at the same time that the Bangles were putting out his other song, Manic Monday.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had like in the charts, even he wasn't even singing on one of them or something like that.
Yeah.
I might be completely wrong, and this might be deleted after I check. But, yeah.
Hey, you say it, people have to believe it.
That's right.
It's on the internet now, so it's got to be true.
It's on the interwebs. That's it. Now, are those round things coasters, or what is that?
Coasters. I think there's a refrigerator magnet on there somewhere.
Is there?
Stickers.
I'll have to take some video of all that. You got lots of merch, man.
I had T-shirts at one time. I'm the worst with merch. I give everything away, and so my wife has banned me from merch. So
it's like, hey, I'm getting these T-shirts. No, you're not.
I have a buddy who I have a friend who does merch for all the bands. Right, he goes around and he'll do merch for all their shows, and he's done merch for me, and he's made money for me. I'm like, whoa! And then one time I played a show, and he's like, yeah, I didn't sell any merch. I'm like, well, you still made more money than me because I give it away. It's like, so yeah, just got to keep it away from me.
But did I tell you I spent $122 and I got an 8-track?
I got an 8-track player and 58 track tapes. Yeah.
Actually, I just gave them all away, so I don't have any of the 8-tracks anymore.
No. I mean, I thought it would be a novelty because everybody was going cassette. And I'm like, I'm gonna be so stupid. I'm gonna go 8-track.
Snafu. I did manually.
You did 8-track?
Yes, I manually did one. Except for I just basically had a recordable 8-track.
Oh.
I popped it in there and we practiced, and I just ran it through my mixer into there.
Awesome.
It sounds horrible. We got like one song on there, so there's one song on 8-track.
That's awesome.
Just because it was a weird thing to do.
I haven't been on Laserdisc yet. That's my goal. Be on Laserdisc, and then I think I've.
I don't, even doing my vintage electronics, I don't see laser discs.
I know, that's why.
I mean, I don't see the machines.
Oh, yeah.
I used to see VCRs, I see DVD players,
Right.
I see Blu-rays, see 8-tracks, see cassettes, see LPs, I see all that stuff. Laserdisc, nothing. I did see, twice I've seen mini disc.
Hold on.
Oh, there it is.
Ready? Where's your Scott?
It's down there.
You can't waste a good slurp.
Got her. Thank you. McDonald's.
Yep.
Thank you. Irish people everywhere. Are you Irish at all?
I'm not. I'm Polish.
You are? You're Polish. You're German. I'm
Prussian.
Prussian. I'm Scotch Indian, Native American, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. That was fun. And we'll clip that out, so you might as well get some four-letter words in there. Well, hey, I think that we're at a good stopping point.
Can't thank you enough for your time.
Yeah. Again, I haven't said this yet. We're on Backstage Community Forum, which is a YouTube channel. Yeah.
We'll do it backwards, right? Welcome to Backstage Community Forum.
I'll do an intro. Just be dancing. We're on Backstage Community Forum.
Hey.
I was trying to come up with a name, and I wanted it to be Backstage Forum, but somebody else had it.
Oh.
But I thought, well, I want to have something to do with backstage. And so I thought, Backstage Community, because it's all the things backstage. Like, the one I did was for my friend has an enormous amount of pinball machines and arcade games.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
He has, and so we went and just looked at all this stuff, and he told me all the stories, and it was really cool.
That's awesome.
So, I don't know how to wrap these up, so we'll just say, all right, you take a look.
Love and happiness?
Yeah, watch for, let me get all the names right for sure. We got Hebba Jebba, and then we have, is it The International Treasures, or is it International Treasures?
Is it The International Treasures or The International Treasures?
Is it The or just International?
Is there
a The in the front?
I don't care. Yeah, there is a The, but it's kind of like the Rolling Stones. I don't know.
So just
what do you want?
So you just call you the Treasures?
The Treasures works.
All right. And then you have your own thing too. So you can find all this information on the interwebs. Somewhere.
On the interwebs.
And why don't you email me some links after
I will.
this? And we will just go ahead and put them all in there.
There you go.
You can find all the stuff that you want to find out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks a lot, man. This has been freaking killer.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this guy
30
in
years.
30 years.
30 years.
So, and we don't have to clap out, but I'm going to anyways. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how to end them anymore.
Time.
I haven't done one of these in so long. I don't know how to end it. I don't even have this turned on. I didn't like it so much. I'm a metal guy.
We were a really bad take on Soul Asylum. Like, we were a poor man's. Like, if you took Soul Asylum and the Replacements and had a baby, and that baby was the ugliest baby you'd ever seen. We had fun though. We did. We had a good time.